Hello everyone, this is Hacker Ray here. I'm bringing you Gundam Break Beta. I found this on the Japanese PlayStation Store the other day and thought I'd give it a try out since I did the other one. It turned out really good as a third-person online shooter. This one is more like a third-person adventure game. It does have an online mode function. I haven't found anybody in any lobbies yet, so I'll bring more video on that later. But the basic premise of it is, as long as you're away from an enemy, you have long-range weapon attacks. So as soon as you get in close, you get close range. You get awards and points based on defeating enemies, and the faster you defeat them, the higher your bar graph at the end of the match goes, giving you more points. And your character does level up. Your suit levels up, and character rating, even when you're making parts, your ability to make parts levels up too, the more parts you build. And you collect those parts left back by enemies that you've defeated. You can pick up head pieces, leg pieces, all those things. And you can pretty much make your own Gundam in this game, which is really awesome. There's a lot more features that I'm going to show you in a little bit. But right now I want to talk about the gameplay. As you've seen, I cut his head off, which weakens him. Makes them more susceptible to one-hit kills. But if you leave them for too long, their head will actually come back to their body and they'll regenerate. And as the levels progress, as you defeat all the enemies, get certain items, or defend certain places until all the enemy waves are dead, and then it opens up your path via the red lasers in the back corner. Now at the end of each mission level there's a boss like this one here. I was finding that Mark II Gundam, you know, and then as you'll see, you get parts from him and stuff like that. He left a whole bunch of parts. What I love about this game is the fact that it brings characters from all sides of Gundam universe here to for you to battle against. Like this right here is the master from Gundam Meisters, which is like a martial arts form of a Gundam movie. As you see in there, my head got knocked off. So if you rush back to your body part that got blown off, it'll appear back on your body like that. But without it, you're more likely to get blown up. Now here's the beauty of this game. It doesn't keep track of your lives. There are no set number of lives. No continues, anything like that. So basically what happens is, if you die and you respawn, let's say you collected 5 pieces, like parts for a Gundam, right? If you died 3 times, at the end of the match, 3 of your parts will be taken away from you. Which I think is a good system to work with, because it doesn't really punish players too much for dying, but it also gives you a reason for not wanting to die. Now as you see here, this is the end of the match. So there's a level graph going up based on how many accolades you attained and your times, and how many units you destroyed. And you get a level rank based on that. And then it shows you all the different parts and different abilities you unlocked by ranking up. And it keeps track of your score set at the end. Now these are all the parts I've got throughout the match. Now if I would have died one time, one of those parts would have been X'd out and I wouldn't be able to get it. So once the mission is complete, you go back to your hangar. As far as I can see, there are 4 slots here that I had available, but I can only use 1 so far. But I'm guessing you can have up to 4 different Gundams at one time. Now we're going into customization mode. So basically, you can customize your Gundams however you want, based on the parts you got. So, first thing you gotta do is you actually build your parts. So like this one, I pick it, and these stars represent how good of an item it is. And then as you see at the bottom, I get a level rank for all the parts. And it goes up the more parts you get. And then you get different stat changes for different pieces of equipment. So not only can you make your own Gundam however you want to, but you gotta keep track of your stats too, because some stats will give you a little bit of negatives here and there. So you gotta justify, do I want the look or do I want the stats? You know what I mean? And so here I'm just building basic parts that I've gotten so far. I've unlocked a lot more since this video, but you know, it's just whatever. I'm just showing you this one here. This is just the basic ones that you get as soon as you play it. And so you can upgrade weapons, have better sabers, better rifles. Right here I'm using the cannon. You can have a shield or no shield, and at a later point you can use more than one lightsaber. Now you have special moves that you can set up. By holding the R1 button and pressing square, circle, or triangle, you can perform these moves. One move could be to regain a little bit of health. The other moves could be for like a dash and stuff like that. Now, when I say customize, I mean customize. You can change the paint, you can add patterns to your suits, whatever you want. It uses the 3-color layout of red, green, and blue. So you just move those around until you get your right color palette you wanted. So you pretty much make it how you want. Now to do missions, you would go here, you select the mission you want to do, you perform it, and the missions vary as you go along. A lot of protecting, a lot of other things, defending, some are playing out assaults, other item grabs, but all in all it's good. See, like there I used to gain some health there. One move to be is the light, the saber sword slashes, and then another move I have is a charge, or actually bum rush. So there's slashes right there, and there's the charge. Those are the special moves that you can unlock in the game. If you cut an enemy in half, you have the option to go up and actually stab the top part of the suit, giving you a one-hit kill, which gives you good accolades and some good points for it. I love the scale in this game. I think they did a great job at it. It looks really good. The trees, the buildings, stuff like that, but the buildings are not destructible. So pretty much this is just a run around, kill everything in this area type of game, which is fun. I mean, especially with all the customization and multiplayer online. It turned out to be a really good game. Now this is the beta though, that's the thing. You know, it's not the full-on version of the game, but I'm kind of doubting that this game is going to make it to the US. Since the last one didn't, I have a doubt it will. But you should be able to pick it up and playasia.com. If you're into any Japanese games for the PS3, which will play any game from any country because it's Blu-ray, PlayAsia has the games for you. That's the suit I have now, which is a Gundam. Now this was a cool map, I thought. It's kind of like, you know, shrunken down like toy models. There's actually the boxes for the models. You see the paint can. So it's actually like you're fighting with toy models, which kind of feels like. So it kind of gives that, you know, that Pokemon Rumble feel to it, which was really cool, I thought. And there's a couple posters on the wall. It's got great fan service for being that. Now this mission here, I had a central point I had to protect, which can get very hard later on, especially in the early levels when your weapons aren't maxed out or you don't have upgraded weapons or highly upgraded armor, because they just keep on spawning in enemies and enemies wave after wave, and their only point is to attack that central object in the center of the map that you have to defend. But as you can see, this game is really good. I gave it a very high rating. If you have a PlayStation account, a Japanese account, go to the Japanese PSN. You can hit the search and type in Gundam and this will pop up, or you can look through the demos list and it will be one of the newer demos out there on the list. But if you have a Japanese account, I recommend you check this out. If you're a die-hard Gundam fan, you'll definitely love this game. It has plenty of fan service, and the fact that it's one of the best Gundam games I've played since Gundam Unicorn, which I'll post a review up later on about. But since that, this is the best Gundam game I've ever seen. Get Crossfire, get any of those other ones. This game rocks. Now, I'm hoping that I can make a Wing Zero series pretty soon. So if I can do that, I'll give this game a 100 rating. But as of right now, since it is a beta, I'm going to give it a 97 rating. So pretty much a 9.5 on my scale.